Hey everybody, this week on Bearcat Outdoors, we're following along with a local fisherman who is turning his hobby and passion into a profession. Check it out right now.
Hey, I'm Andrew Norby. One question I get asked a lot is, how did you get started fishing? And that's a good question. When I was 3 years old, my dad took me fishing for the first time. He probably took me before then, but he took me out fishing. I caught my first bass on a Snoopy rod, a little 3-foot pole. And I grew up fishing with my dad, mostly from the bank, sometimes in floating tubes, and we'd walk miles to these ponds. We'd go to lakes, reservoirs. I remember one time in the middle of winter, I told Dad I wanted to go fishing, and we walked over a mile back into this conservation area, and it started snowing on us, and I caught a 5.5-pound bass. I was only 4.5 years old. Since then, I've been hooked. Fishing from the bank, I learned a lot of simple techniques, casting, flipping, just the basics of fishing. It really got me started, and I've been chasing professional bass fishing ever since. After graduating high school and moving on to college, I was still chasing bass fishing. I went to Northwest because I heard they had a fishing team, and that really excited me. And I got in touch with one of the professors at the college named Brett Ware. He's a business management and marketing professor, and growing up I was told I always needed a business management and marketing degree if I wanted to be a professional bass fisherman, so I could market myself and manage myself in return for sponsorships, be my own business. So I was right in line with that at Northwest. Came up here, started working for Tightlines UV Lure Company, joined the fishing club. I was tournament director for 1 year, and then I was president for my last 2 years in college. And in the fishing club, I got to travel all over the country to many states, from Wisconsin to Alabama. One of my biggest feats in fishing was finishing 4th place at the FLW College Open on Kentucky Lake out of about 200 boats. My partner Adam Almatati and I were leading day 1 with a 25.2-pound sack of largemouth, and on day 2 we dropped down to 4th place, but it was one of the most memorable tournaments I had, and it qualified us for college nationals, which your top 50 teams in the nation out of every college make, and we went to South Carolina for that at Lake Kiowee. We finished about middle of the pack, but man, it was awesome just getting to fish at the national level against your best college anglers in the nation. Since then, I've started fishing professional tournaments. I'm currently fishing the FLW Costa Series. I'm planning to fish the FLW Tour or the Bassmaster Elites, your top professional tournaments, here within the next few years. This has always been a goal of mine, and it's getting closer every day. You cannot imagine how tough it is to fish at the top professional level. You only have roughly 200 anglers in each of those tournaments out of the whole nation that get to fish professionally full-time. It takes time and effort to compete against these top anglers. That makes it so much more meaningful when you place well in a tournament. I go down a week before in preparation for the tournament. Usually I pre-fish the lake in different areas, trying to find out where the bass are, if they're shallow, if they're deep, if they're feeding on shad or crawdads, and just the best way to catch them, because you got to figure that out or you're not going to do well in the upcoming tournament. My 2017 tournament season is starting to come to an end. I'm fishing my last professional tournament this coming week, October 12th through the 14th on Lake of the Ozarks, and then I'll be gearing up for the FLW Costa Series of 2018. And the lakes next year will be Table Rock, Kentucky Lake, and Lake of the Ozarks again. So I'm excited for that. God has given me this passion for bass fishing, and I will continue to chase it.
If you like this episode, make sure to check us out again next week on Channel 8 at 6:30. For more Bearcat Outdoors or any other show on KNWT Channel 8, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, our YouTube channel, and our Facebook page at KNWT Channel 8 for current and past shows. This is Bearcat Outdoors. We will see you next week, and stay tuned for amazing things up next.